This week, I began working on the kitchen in my Ford Transit van build in preparation for this road trip. It's not completely finished yet, but I was able to build the carcass, I installed the fridge, I added a propane cooktop, and I even got quartzite countertops. As you can tell, it is definitely not done. We still have a lot of work to do in this van, but I'm really happy with where we were able to get to before this trip, and we have a lot of functional elements in the space that make it so different from the trips we've taken in this unfinished van so far. This week, I am officially building the kitchen cabinets in my van build. I am so excited. This is the last big structure that's going into the van, and I can't wait to see it come together. I started by building this box for the fridge and also an area for the vent underneath. For the rest, I will need to be creating these vents for the heater. The heater runs underneath my floor to heat up the floor, and then it comes out into the air. So I'm building those. I had to strategically build around the vents for my heater. I wanted my heater to vent through the floor and then out into the air so that it heats up the floor before it heats up the air. And so I have all of these little holes on either side underneath the cabinetry where the air is going to come out. So I had to build around that when I was doing this cabinetry. I essentially just created a little open box with no front, and I added some little square supports so that it's sturdy. You could even set things on it, and the fridge is stabilized with that as well. I used wood glue and brad nails to put it all together, and then I screwed it to my kitchen carcass. I have had 1 week to build out the entire kitchen of my van. I still have to do finishing touches, but tomorrow we're leaving for a road trip, so I'm just trying to get enough done for it to be a comfortable space to be in. And my next step is cutting the vent for underneath the sink. This is the fridge, and then over here we have this section I'm working on right now. Over a year ago, I bought this Ford Transit camper van with the hopes of building it out in 2 months. And as a lot of you guys know, it has been a lot longer than 2 months. When the 2-month mark came up, we actually took it on a road trip to New Mexico because Tori's family, they go on this annual family trip to these New Mexico cabins every single year. We decided to travel in the van a little bit after as well. And at that point, the van was looking so rough. I know it looks a little rough now as well, but compared to what it looked like a year ago, it's actually crazy. We had this temporary bed set up in the center, and all of our stuff was underneath it. So we'd have to like lift it up every single time, and all the walls were exposed. There wasn't that much insulation. So the temperatures got very hot when we were in Arizona. It didn't have a bathroom, which we're used to using the bathroom outside, but it does make it a little harder. And I think the hardest thing to deal with about that trip was that we did not have running water. So no sink to wash dishes. We actually had to do all of that outside. But despite all of that, that was actually such a fun trip. Here we are again at the New Mexico cabins, the annual trip, and we will be traveling a little bit in this unfinished van yet again, but obviously the setup is very different this time. It is the next day, and I have now cut all the pieces for the second cabinetry on that same side. This is the vent cover, and then we have the bottom, the top, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sand it before I screw it together and put it in. I am going to screw together the back of the lower cabinet. I have the back and the bottom screwed together, and now I'm going to add the vent. It's gonna go right here. I feel like this version is so much better because I was able to learn from my mistakes in the first version. Next, I'm gonna add little shelves for both of the cabinets, the left and the right, and I'm going to add a lip to the shelf. That way, whatever I store in there, it doesn't fall out when I open the door. This should be 2 inches. For this project, I've actually been using a lot of the smaller scrap wood around here, which is great. Like, this is a really weird cut, so I'm just gonna cut that off and keep the flat side, obviously. And it's awesome because maple plywood is expensive, so I'm glad that I'm using all of these little pieces. These are the cuts for Shelf number 2. Now I just have to cut the width on the miter saw and then we can screw it all together. So we have 13.5 and we have 9.5. The drawers aren't going to be able to be done in time, so I'm going to add in some temporary wood here just to stop things from falling out and just so I can store more things on this trip. Now we can put like plates maybe. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to put in here yet. There is no time. This is the Apex 300 and it's the biggest and most powerful power station that I own from Bluetti. This is the power station that I would use as backup power in a house, in an off-grid cabin. Right now, this is the power station I use to run AC in my van. I have it hooked up to 700 watts of solar outside and it's absolutely incredible. I would definitely use the Apex 300 for a permanent solution in a van build. Because you have the solar hookups, you have a really good capacity. You can build on this and get multiple batteries if you need more power, but it can also easily power a fridge, an induction cooktop. You can power your blender, but this is a short trip and I don't need a very big power station. I'm actually looking for something a little more portable. This is the AC200P portable power station, and this is such an all-around great power station. I feel like this is one of the most versatile ones. You have a ton of ports over here, and on top of it, you have wireless charging for your phone. So you can put your phone up here and it will charge it. And it just has an overall really great balance between portability and power. Moving on to the next power station. This is the AC240, and I have to admit, I am very biased towards this power station. If you are looking for a rugged power station that you can use outside, this is the power station for you. It is IP65 rated, and I have poured water on this. I had a friend who was outside during a hailstorm on accident. It was completely soaking wet by the end of the day. Actually, some of her ports were even open, and it still survived. You can hook up solar to it. This is one of my favorites, I have to say, just because of how durable this is. Here we have the AC180, another little baby that I love so much. I have a special place in my heart for this one because it is the first power station from Bluetti I ever got, and I have put this one to the test. It is fast charging, so it charges up to 80% in about 45 minutes, and it's all around just a very good, compact, and portable power station. So if you're looking for something very portable and lightweight, I would definitely go with this one. So I think I've decided that this is the power station I'm going to be bringing on this trip simply because it is so portable. It's quiet, you have fast charging again, so you can get from 0 to 80% in only 45 minutes. You have tons of different ports up here, which is very convenient. You have DC, you have USB here, and you have 4 AC outlets. This thing has a 10-year life with about 4,000 cycles. You have a capacity of 1,024 watt hours. So this is a pretty good capacity in this little thing. And it's very compact and lightweight, as you can see. So I think it's gonna be perfect for this trip where I primarily wanna be using it to charge my phones, my laptop, my camera gear. And I wanna be able to bring it outside so I can work outside sometimes. I'm really excited to test it out. I'll let you guys know what I think. I am now charging every single appliance that I brought on this trip. I have my laptop, iPad, camera gear, both Tori and I's phone, microphones, batteries, and I could have fit a few more if I wanted to. Right now it's only drawing 24 watts. This power station actually has an 1,800 watt capacity though, so you could load this up quite a bit more than I did with higher power appliances. You guys know I have been a big fan of Bluetti power stations for a long time. I've had many of their stations, as you've seen in this video, and for this trip, this was just a no-brainer to bring because it's so lightweight but really powerful and very capable. This power station is lightweight at only 25 pounds. It's very quiet. It is so lightweight. I can even carry it with one hand. So far, this is the smallest power station I own from Bluetti, and I have to say I am so impressed with it. If you've been thinking about getting a Bluetti power station, this is the time to do it because of Prime Day. So there are limited time offers and exclusive deals happening right now. But I wouldn't pass the opportunity up. These are such versatile power stations. You can use them for camping, you can use them for off-grid living like in the yurt, you could use them for a van life setup or a UPS in a house. So if you're interested, be sure to check out the link in my description and get one for yourself. We finally made it here to the forest, and the van is not finished yet, but it's looking pretty good, and I want to show you guys the setup for this trip. If you guys have been following the van build series, you would remember that I installed 800 watts of shade-resistant solar, so that is on the roof, and I'm using it to power my battery system for this trip. I also have security cameras. They're not fully hooked up yet, but I feel like it deters people just that it's up there, so that's nice. I will be installing cameras on all 3 sides of the van, and there will be dash cam footage in the front of the van as well, so I will have views of the entire van. It's going to be a pretty cool system. And recently I installed this hangboard, which has been really helpful because we've been driving a lot on this trip, and it's always really nice to stretch your body afterwards. This is the part of the van that I have always been most excited for, and it is the bathroom. And I have it mainly finished. There are some things I still need to do to it, but it's looking pretty good. We have a faucet in here. I have the shower, but it's not completely waterproofed in here yet, so I actually can't use it. But I do also have the faucet for the shower. I also have the medicine cabinet. This will eventually have a door covering all of this, so I strategically packed everything so that it won't fall out. And so far, after 15 hours of driving, we are doing pretty good. I have the AC unit hooked up inside of the shower room so that when it gets hot, it can feel cool in here. I also tested out the pee funnel, and it has been working so well. Last week, I showed you guys how I installed the Cinderella incinerating toilet in my van along with a pee funnel. And this week I tested both of these systems out, and I'm really excited to share my thoughts on it. Starting with the pee funnel, I wanted to install this because I thought this is $10, why not try it out? It sounds really easy, low maintenance, you don't have to do anything, it just goes out the bottom of your van. But I did have my concerns with this system. One of my concerns was that the pee would like come out, or that it would be kind of gross when using it. I did not want to feel like wet pee when I was using it, and I was concerned about that. I have never used one of these before. But after using it a few times, I actually love this so much more than I thought. It feels a lot more hygienic than I thought it would be. You definitely don't feel anything wet when you're using it. The pee does not come out. It drains out as quickly as you pee. You don't need to like hold back your pee or anything. Obviously, it's very low maintenance. I just spray it with a little bit of like all-purpose spray, or like white vinegar would work after using it, and it seems to be pretty odorless so far. We have tested out the Cinderella incinerating toilet a few times. Before going on the trip, I did a test burn with a banana peel, but obviously a banana peel doesn't really smell bad, so I was curious how the odor would translate to actual human waste, and so far it has been completely odorless. I even went outside when it was incinerating to see if I could smell any bad odors coming out of the chimney, and there was absolutely no smells outside, which is so nice. Like, you don't smell anything and it literally is just ash. So Tori and I have both used this a few times, and this is all that is left to maintain. It's completely odorless. Honestly, this doesn't even fill up the bowl very much, so I think that this would last quite a long time before we would have to empty it, but it's not gross at all to empty. So like, I wouldn't even care if I had to empty it often. So over on the right side of this kitchen, I have my fridge installed. This is a much bigger fridge than I had in my last van, and I'm really excited about it. It holds quite a bit of food. I also have this 2-burner stove, and it is actually functional. I hooked up the propane, so I'm really excited to try this out. I actually haven't used this one yet though. We also have some storage underneath. This is temporary. It is eventually going to have drawers in there and cabinet faces, obviously. Over on this side, we have a sink installed. I also added, and I don't see this very often in van builds, but I added a disposal, so that is also working. I'm really excited about that because I hated digging food out of my strainer in my last van, and I just think that that's going to make things a lot better. Things aren't going to get clogged as much as well. For this trip, I was able to get quartzite countertops installed in this van. I only gave them a few days to do it. I literally called them and I was like, how quickly can you get quartzite countertops in? I went there, they took the measurements, and they got it done in one day. And I'm also so happy with how it turned out. I think the veining looks so pretty, and I really love quartzite because you have this beautiful veining look that you kind of get from marble, but it's a lot more durable than marble, less porous. It's gonna hold up a lot better in a van. The name of the quartzite I chose is Calcutta Bianca quartzite. Moving on to the back of the van, this is the bed, and we also have some seats here. I actually had this area built for the very last trip that I took the van on, which was a short trip to the white sand dunes in New Mexico. And even though that trip was very recent, it was only just a couple months ago, this van has completely transformed since then. The only thing similar really is the bed area and the seats. But on that trip, I didn't have the bathroom, I didn't have the kitchen, and it just feels like as we're getting closer to the end of this van build, things are coming along so much more quickly than in the beginning. Another thing that we added for this trip that we didn't have on the last trip though are these nice cushions that Tori helped me sew. This is a marine vinyl fabric because I wanted it to be waterproof and really durable. We have a dog, and so I wanted it to be very easy to clean. And I also really love the look and the texture of it. It's like soft but completely waterproof, and it's used for boats, so you know it's very durable. These cushions actually help to fill in the bed. So as you can see, the bed looks very small now, but if you take these cushions off, you can actually double the size of the bed by pulling the frame of the bed out. As you can see, the bed is now doubled in size, and I can use these cushions to fill it in. The last couple additions I added to this van before the trip is this one drawer for our clothes, because organization can be really bad if you don't have the right setup. And obviously I don't have the right setup, but this one drawer helps a lot. I use Blum undermount drawer guides for this, so you can't see them on either side, and they're also soft closing. This is where we've been storing all of our clothes on the trip. The only other things we did for this trip was adding this limestone vinyl flooring. They clicked together, and Tori helped me a lot with this because I was struggling to get the seams to be super tight, and we'll see how it holds up. Sometimes tongue and groove vinyl is not really ideal in a van because it tends to have gaps as you change in altitude and stuff. I'll let you guys know how this holds up though, because I do really like the look of it. As the van builds are coming to a close, I am starting to get really excited about getting on the road again, and one thing I really love and miss about being on the road is community. That is something that I spent a lot of time building and cultivating last time, and a big part of that was actually going to van festivals where I met a lot of people within the community. I wanted to share about a van festival for anyone who's interested that is going to be in Florida. The dates are March 6th to 9th, and I actually have the link in the description if you want to get some pre-sale tickets for this event, and this is only available until July 13th, so be sure to check it out if you're interested, and I may even see you guys there. The van is so close to done, and I'm just really excited to be on the road again, take it on a little trip, have Choya with us, and just test out all the systems so that I can go back and tweak what I need to and then finish this van build up. But I honestly could not have gotten this van ready without the help of Tori and my family. My dad helped a lot with getting the electrical set up before this trip and doing like the propane lines and stuff like that. My mom even helped me cook food, so I had that on the road. Like, this van build has been so difficult, and it's been so helpful to have a support system in doing this. And I'm really grateful for that and happy to be on the road. So definitely stay tuned for next week, where I'll share more of our adventures, testing out the van build and showing what we've been up to as we start traveling in it. If you enjoy this video, please like, because it really supports my channel, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.